Welcome back to the next session of Design of Pre-Stressed Concrete Elements course. In the last session, we were discussing regarding loss of pre-stress. In that, we have worked out one particular problem. So let us proceed in this session also with a few more problems. So let me take a problem. So the problem says like this. A pre-stressed, a pre-tensioned concrete beam of 230 by 300 mm and span 6 meter is initially pre-stressed by a force of 400 kilonewton, which is applied at a constant eccentricity of 70 mm by tendons of area 400 millimeter square. If modulus of velocity of steel is 2 into 10 to the power of 5 Newton per millimeter square. Modulus of velocity of concrete 0.3 into 10 to the power of 5 Newton per millimeter square. Creep coefficient in concrete is 2. Shrinkage strain in concrete 0.0002. Stress relaxation in steel 3%. So for this is asking find the percentage loss in the tendon. Find the percentage loss in the tendon. So when you go into when they're going to give the problem like this in the examination, so first what we need to observe here, the first thing is we need to identify whether it is a pre-tension concrete beam or post-tension concrete beam. Why? Because the loss of pre-stress calculation will vary based upon the type of tensioning system. So that is, in pre-tension concrete beam the losses will be different, and in post-tension concrete beam the losses will be different. Hence the very first step you need to do in the examination when you're going to give or when you're going to observe the loss of pre-stress is first see which is the type of a beam, whether it is pre-tension and post-tension. Fine. Now the problem is pre-tension concrete beam. Next, here they have been given this, okay, the dimension of a beam, the span, okay, pre-stressing force, and please be careful regarding the whatever the parameters they have been given. So we know that pre-tension beam, which are all the losses will come? The losses are loss of pre-stress due to elastic deformation, loss of pre-stress due to shrinkage, loss of pre-stress due to creep, and loss of pre-stress due to relaxation of stress in steel. So these are the four losses that will come into the picture. So based upon this, you please write down the data. Okay. So let me go ahead. So let me draw this. Okay, the cross section of a beam. So this cross section, as I stated, it is 200. Okay. So this is the width is 200. Okay. And the depth of this beam is 300. So this is 300 millimeter. And this will be the centroidal axis of a beam. Okay, it is a rectangular section, and this is the longitudinal section of a beam whose span is 6 meter. Okay, and then at constant eccentricity, that is, as I stated, so in the examination, instead of giving a straight cable, so they can give in this particular way also, that is constant eccentricity. That means throughout the beam, the eccentricity is uniform. So this particular situation will be created only by a straight cable. So hence, okay, the eccentricity throughout the beam is 70 millimeter. Okay, so let me write down the data. So as the problem specifies, pre-stressing force of 400 kilonewton is induced through the cable of area 400 millimeter square. Next, the very important thing you need to calculate in the case of, okay, the loss of pre-stress is initial pre-stress. So this is a one more important parameter, because when you want to calculate the percentage loss without knowing what is the initial press, what is the initial pre-stress that has been encountered in the PSC, we cannot calculate the losses. So hence Okay, don't forget to calculate the initial pre-stress. So hence, let me calculate the initial pre-stress. The initial pre-stress is equal to pre-stressing force divided by area of a cable. Please be careful. Please be careful. Pre-stressing force divided by area of cable. So should not forget. So in a hurry, if you substitute the area of section, the entire problem will become wrong. So please be careful. Okay, it is area of a cable. So that is 400 10 to the power of 3 Newton divided by area of cable in millimeter square, which will get you 1000 Newton per millimeter square. Is it clear? So let me go with the first loss, that is loss of pre-stress due to elastic deformation. So what is the formula? Loss is equal to modular ratio multiplied by FC. So this is the formula we are going to use in order to calculate the loss of pre-stress due to elastic deformation. So let me calculate these parameters. First, modular ratio, that is alpha E is equal to ES by EC. So as I stated, please observe that whether the modulus of elasticity of steel and modulus of elasticity of concrete are in same units or not. So from the problem, you can see both are in same units, that is Newton per millimeter square. So hence you can directly substitute that 2 into 10 to the power of 5 divided by 0.333 into 10 to the power of 5 Newton per millimeter square. Okay, so which will get you the answer 6. Next, FC. What is the meaning of FC? The compressive stress in concrete at the level of steel. Okay, so that is the meaning of FC. How to calculate that? P by A plus PE by I into the multiply by the eccentricity minus M by I into E. Okay, and this terminology will become 0. Why? Because nowhere in the problem they have been mentioned regarding the live load and all. So hence we are going to neglect the M by I, or this terminology will become 0. Okay. So now let me go ahead with the substitution. So as we know, cross-sectional area A is equal to 200 into 300, which is equal to 16 10 to the power of 3 millimeter square. Moment of inertia, since it is a rectangular section, the formula is BD cube by 12, that is 200 into 300 cube by 12, which is equal to 415 10 to the power of 6 millimeter to the power of 4. Next, substitute everything. So you know P, you know A, okay, and you know eccentricity. The eccentricity is which is constant, and substitute 70. So which will get you 11.02 Newton per millimeter square. So this will be the answer. Okay. So next, substitute this alpha E and FC in the above formula. That is 6 multiplied by 11.02. So which will get you 66.13 Newton per millimeter square. 66.13 Newton per millimeter square. So this will be the answer. Next, the next loss you are going to come across in the case of pretension beam is loss of pre-stress due to shrinkage. So loss of pre-stress due to shrinkage equal to, we know the formula, that is residual shrinkage strain multiplied by the modulus of elasticity of steel. So in the problem, they have been clearly mentioned. Okay, so what is the shrinkage strain in the concrete? That is 0.0002. So be careful. So please observe and substitute it properly. Okay. So everything we need to be very careful. So 0.0002 into 2 into 10 to the power of 5. So which will be 40 Newton per millimeter square. Okay. Next, loss due to creep. Loss of pre-stress is equal to creep coefficient. So as I stated, when you're going to calculate the loss of pre-stress due to creep, okay, then we need to observe which is the data they have been given. So in this particular problem, okay, they have been given a creep coefficient, hence we need to go with the creep coefficient formula. Otherwise, if ultimate creep strain value is given, we need to go with the ultimate creep strain formula. So hence, loss of pre-stress is equal to creep coefficient multiplied by the compressive pre-stress multiplied by modular ratio. So creep coefficient, they have been mentioned in the problem, which is 2 into FC, we already been calculated, multiplied by the modular ratio 6, which will get you 132.24 Newton per millimeter square. Is it clear? Next, loss due to relaxation. Okay, which is equal to percentage of relaxation multiplied by initial pre-stress in steel. So now in the problem, you can see the percentage of relaxation in the steel is 3%. So hence 3 divided by 100 into 1000. So which will get you, okay, that is, I can say 30 Newton per millimeter square. So once again, I have calculated here. So no need to worry because I've already been calculated in the first step itself. So again, I have been repeated here. So this step has been repeated here. Okay, the same step, whatever I did. So again, I've been repeated here and I calculated the initial pre-stress. Is it clear? So next, okay, total loss is equal to the loss of pre-stress due to elastic deformation, loss of pre-stress due to shrinkage, and loss of pre-stress due to creep, and loss of pre-stress due to relaxation. So from this, you can observe that loss of pre-stress due to creep will be more as compared to other losses. And second will be loss of pre-stress due to elastic deformation. Is it clear? So next, the total loss is equal to 268.37. So, but in the problem is asking the percentage loss, hence percentage loss is equal to the total loss divided by the initial pre-stress, that is 268.37 in divided by 1000 into 100. So that is 26.8%. That means when I'm going to induce 100% or when I'm going to observe the 100% pre-stress, in that 100%, 26.8% loss has been encountered in the pre-tension PSCB. So like this, we need to work out the problem, okay, for this particular thing. Okay, so hope you have understood how to solve and how, okay, and hope you have came to know what are all the things you need to observe while solving the problem. So let me continue with one more problem. So next, the problem says like this. Now, it is a post-tension pre-stressed concrete beam. So please be careful. It is a post-tension pre-stressed concrete beam. 50-meter span is subjected to transfer a pre-stressing force of 938 meganewton. So instead of kilonewton, they have been given in meganewton. M Newton means, Mn means meganewton. That is 9.38 into 10 to the power of 6 Newton. Transfer of force is a 28-day strength. Profile of the cable is parabolic. So please note down this. Okay, till now we have been solved. Okay, the cable with straight. Okay, that is two problems already we have been solved. One in last session and one in this session. So in both the case, I have been solved straight cable. So now let us go with the parabolic cable. So with the maximum eccentricity at midsection as 1100 millimeter. Next, so for this is asking determine the loss of pre-stress. That is not the thing. One more thing is find the jacking force required. So what is the meaning of jacking force? So that I can induce the tensioning. Okay, so I want that particular force. So the beam is subjected to next a live load of 24 kilonewton per meter and jacking is done at both ends of the beam. Okay, so in this particular problem, apart from calculating the loss of pre-stress, I also need to find out what is the jacking force required in order to tension the tendon inside the PSC beam, and this jacking will be done at both ends of the beam. Is it clear? Fine. So let me proceed with the problem. Okay, so now one more thing you need to observe here is what are all the data. So the initial pre-stressing force, that is one thing. Area of concrete directly they have been given. Okay, that is 9,47,100 millimeter square. Area of steel they have been given directly. Moment of inertia they have been given directly. Anchorage slip 2.5 mm per anchorage. That means each anchor end. Okay, so please observe 2.5 millimeter. So loss due to relaxation of steel 2%, creep coefficient 1.2, friction coefficient 0.25, wobble effect 0.0015 per meter. Next, modulus of elasticity of concrete, please observe 38.2 GPa and modulus of elasticity of steel 210 GPa. And take density of concrete 24. So these are all the data. So as I stated, what is the first thing we need to observe here? The very first thing we need to observe here is which is the type of a beam. So now it is a post-tension, okay, post-tension pre-stressed concrete beam. So please note this point. It is a post-tension pre-stressed concrete beam. That means apart from the four losses, that is elastic deformation, shrinkage, creep, and then relaxation loss, two more loss will come into the picture. So those two more losses are loss of pre-stress due to friction and then loss of pre-stress due to anchorage slip. So these two additional losses will be encountered in the case of post-tension pre-stressed concrete beam. So let me proceed with the problem. So let me know how to calculate the loss of pre-stress for this particular post-tension PSC beam. So let me draw the diagram. So as it states, it is a 50-meter span beam. Okay, it is a longitudinal section, and then this will be the central axis. Okay, so till now we have not been come across the load. So now please observe, it has been subjected to the live load of 24 kilonewton per meter. That is one thing. And another thing, it has been tensioned at both ends by inducing the hydraulic jack. That means the jacking force will be applied at both ends. Is it clear? Next. So as I stated, so let me proceed with the first thing, initial pre-stress. Okay, because in the problem they have been given the initial pre-stressing force and the area of cable. With respect to these two parameters, calculate the initial pre-stress. So that is 9.38 meganewton, which is 9.8 10 to the power of 6 newton, and area of cable 8930 millimeters. Substitute that, so which will get you 1050, that is 1050.4 newton per millimeter square. So this will be the initial pre-stress. Next, let me go ahead with the problem. Okay, so let me, the first loss is loss of pre-stress due to elastic deformation. So when you're going to calculate loss of pre-stress due to elastic deformation, so first thing we need to observe is, so this is a post-tension beam. So in the post-tension beam, we need to be very careful. That is, we'll be having two cases in the case of post-tension beam while calculating the loss of pre-stress due to elastic deformation. What are those two conditions or cases? Those cases are whether all the cables are simultaneously tensioned, whether all the cables are successively tensioned or one by one tension. So in this particular problem, you please observe once. So nowhere they have been mentioned whether the cables are tensioned one at a time or one by one. So in this particular case, as I stated, we need to consider the case number one, that is all the cables are tensioned. And one more thing, you can see in the problem, since there are only one cable, since there are only one cable, you can pull or you can do the tension one at a time. That means simultaneously you can go with one by one. So there is a one more caution or one more thing you can observe. Is it clear? So since it is only one cable, I can pull only once, I can tension once, and what I can say, the loss of pre-stress due to elastic deformation in this particular case is 0. So no loss will be encountered. Is it clear? Next, the second is the loss of pre-stress due to shrinkage. So now please observe, in the last two problem I used to give the shrinkage strain data. Am I right? That is total residual shrinkage or residual shrinkage strain. So in this, you please observe, nowhere they have been mentioned the shrinkage strain data. So now, how to calculate then loss of pre-stress due to shrinkage? So that is, we know the formula is epsilon CS into ES. Loss of pre-stress due to shrinkage is equal to epsilon CS multiplied by ES. But we know ES, but we don't know epsilon CS. How to calculate that? So for that, I've already been told, and this formula has been given in the IS 1343/1980 code. So in there you can get this formula. You need not to buy it. So for post tensioning, shrinkage strain is equal to 0.0002 divided by log to the base 10 multiplied by T plus 2, where T is age of concrete at transfer. So in the problem you can see, Okay, they have been clearly given 28 days strength. So hence the age is 28 days. So substitute all the data, 0.0002 divided by log to the base 10, 28 plus 2. So that is 1.353 into 10 to the power of minus 4 will be the residual shrinkage strain, okay, that has happened in the case of post-tension beam. So please be careful, okay, when they are not going to give the data of shrinkage strain, okay, so we need to go ahead with a formula, particularly in the case of post-tension. So please observe. For pre-tension, so as I stated, it will be 300 to the power of minus 6. But for post-tension, so when they are going to miss the data, so we need to calculate like this. And this formula is there in the 1343/1980 code. Is it clear? Next. So substitute that. Okay, so that is 28.43 Newton per millimeter square will be the answer. Next, loss of pre-stress due to creep. So what is the formula? Loss of pre-stress due to creep equal to creep coefficient multiplied by the compressive stress in concrete at the level of steel multiplied by modular ratio. That is this. Okay, why have been substituted this formula? Because in the problem they have been given a creep coefficient data. Fine. So now you know phi, you know alpha E, but you don't know what is FC, how to calculate that. So that is, so first let me calculate alpha E modular ratio, because the loss of stress due to elastic deformation in that particular case we have not been calculated alpha E. So hence I'm going to calculate alpha E here. That is ES by EC. That is ES by EC. That is 210 into 10 to the power of 9 divided by 38.2 to the power of 9. So once again be careful. So both should be in the same unit. For example, in this problem, if they are going to give 210 GPa, 38.2 MPa, then you cannot substitute like this. So you need to be very careful. So then it will become 210 to the power of 9 divided by 38.2 to the power of 6. So all those things you need to be very careful while substituting. So which will get you 5.5 modular ratio. Next comes to the very important thing, that is compressive stress in concrete at the level of steel, that is FC. Okay, so especially for a parabolic cable. So now you need to be very careful. Okay, so let me go ahead how to calculate that. Okay, so please observe very carefully how to calculate FC for parabolic cable, because till now we have been solved till now we have been calculated FC value for straight cable. So let us know how to calculate the compressive stress in concrete at the level of steel for parabolic cable. So that is FC, which is equal to P by A plus PE by I into E minus M by I into E. That is, okay, so let me calculate one by one. We know P, we know A, okay, we know eccentricity at midspan, okay, and next how to calculate the moment. So let me go ahead. So now when you want to calculate the total moment, we need to know the dead load on the beam. So same thing what we did in the module number 1, cross sectional area divided by 10 to the power of 6, since we want to convert it to millimeter square, multiply by the density of the concrete, which will be 22.73 kilonewton per meter. Next, live load on the beam, 24 kilonewton per meter. So if you sum up, you will get 46.73 kilonewton per meter. So now, what will be the moment formula? So this will be the total WO. So how to calculate the moment? So since nowhere they have been specified, okay, and also they have been specified the live load will be acting as a UDL. Okay, so hence we are going with the formula that is WL square by 8. Okay, so hence M is equal to WL square by 8. Substitute this, you will get 14603.12 kilonewton meter. So once again, I will specify, please be careful regarding the calculation of moment. So in this problem, the live load or the total load which is acting as UDL. So already we know the dead load is acting as UDL and live load is also acting as UDL. Hence have been, okay, substitute this formula. That is one thing. Another thing, since nowhere they have been calculated or mentioned at midspan, okay, or quarter span, so hence I'm going to calculate the maximum bending moment which occurs at midspan. That is, this is the formula. So all these things you should keep in your mind. Next, moment of inertia, we already know. So now please observe here. So I am going to calculate the compressive stress at support separate, compressive stress at midspan separate. Why? Please observe, since it is a parabolic cable, okay, see here, since it is a parabolic cable and eccentricity which is not same throughout the span, because at each particular place, the eccentricity will keep on vary. How? For example, in the support, the eccentricity will be 0. Okay, and here also it is 0. But in the midspan, it will be having a maximum eccentricity of 1100 millimeter. That is one thing. And the second thing, coming to the moment. So coming to the moment, at the support, the moment will be 0. And coming to this, okay, the midspan, the moment will be maximum. So now we cannot calculate the FC, okay, by using the same formula, okay, just like what we did in the straight cable, because that FC will not be uniform throughout the span. Please keep this in mind. The compressive stress in concrete, the level of steel will not be uniform. It will vary. It will vary based upon the span. That is, at the support it will be different, at the midspan it will be different. So for this, let me calculate what will be the compressive stress at the support and what will be the compressive stress at midspan first. So let me go ahead. So that's why we need to be very careful while calculating the FC for parabolic cable. So now FC at support is equal to P by A. Why only direct stress? Because this PE by I into E will terminology will become 0. Why? Because eccentricity is 0. And M by I into E will become 0. Why? Because moment is 0. So the left out is only P by A. So substitute that. Okay, 9.38 into the power of 6 Newton divided by cross-sectional area, which will get you 9.9 Newton per millimeter square. Next, coming to the FC at midspan. So P by A, which is 9.9 plus P, okay, into E divided by I into E minus M by I into E. So that is, please note down, eccentricity at midspan is 1100. So please be careful. So calculate that. That is 2.33 Newton per millimeter square. So now, okay, please observe here. Okay, so the cable is like this now. Okay, so please observe here. So now FC at the midspan is 2.3. So this is the value. Okay, so this will be 2.33. But FC at the support will be more. How much? 9.9. So now which one to consider for calculating the loss of pressures? So for this condition, what I'm going to do, I will calculate the FC average value, the average of these two. Average of these two. How to calculate? Okay, if it is a rectangular section, you would have added and divided by 2, but it is a parabolic shape. How to calculate this? So for this, please observe. So this is the basic things we need to go ahead. Okay, that is, we know already the formula, that is area of this parabola is 2/3 of base into height, and this will be the maximum height, and that particular center, it will be 2/3 of height. This will be full height, and that midspan, it will be 2/3 of height. Okay, so by knowing this height, let us calculate that. So that means what I'm trying to explain here is, so please observe, so this will be, okay, one height, and this will be what I can say 2/3 of h. So this height will be 2/3 of height. Is it clear? So now calculate this height of this, okay, or FC of this value. So now how to calculate that? 2.33. So we already know this. So we already know this. One sec. So we already know what is the value of this. So this value we already know, that is 2.33. So this value we already know, plus 2/3 of this height. How to calculate that? So see here, 2.33 is rectangular height plus 2/3 of, this is the height, 2/3 of height. How to calculate that? Total height we know. Okay, in that total height, deduct this height. That is 9.99 minus 2.3 will get you this height. So that is 2/3 of 9.9 minus 2.33. So that will get you 7.37. So FC average will be 7.37 Newton per millimeter square. So like this, we need to calculate the FC or compressive stress in concrete at the level of steel for parabolic cable. Please be careful. In the examination, if you didn't calculate the FC average value, then you're going to lose the marks, because FC at support is different, FC at midspan different. Hence, we are going to consider the average value of this. Is it clear? So like this, we need to calculate and go ahead with the FC value. So after calculating the FC value, substitute all the entities, creep coefficient data, okay, next FC, and then modular ratio, which will get you 48.64 Newton per millimeter square. Is it clear? Next, loss of pre-stress due to relaxation. That is the next loss. That is percentage relaxation multiplied by initial pre-stress. That is percentage relaxation is 2 divided by 100 into initial pre-stress is 1050.4, which will get you 21 Newton per millimeter square. Is it clear? It is 21 Newton per millimeter square. Okay. Next comes to very important thing, loss of pre-stress due to anchorage slip. So now what is the formula? Delta ES by L. Loss of pre-stress due to anchorage is equal to delta ES by L. So now please observe. So because of this post-tension beam, as I stated, two more laws will be coming into the picture. One is anchorage slip, another one is friction. So we have been used this formula. Next, please observe in the problem they have been mentioned, okay, or they have been given anchorage slip is equal to 2.5 mm per anchorage. But in this particular problem, please observe, since the jacking will be done at both the ends, that means I need to induce anchoring at both the ends. I need to induce anchoring at both ends. That means whatever the anchorage slip that is going to happen, okay, that will be happen at both ends. Is it clear? Because you can observe here the anchorage slip that has been happened at 2.5 mm per anchorage. Since there are two anchorage at both ends, so at this end one anchorage and this end one anchorage, so hence the formula will be reframed into, okay, that is 2 delta ES by L. So please note down, this is the one more thing you need to observe, or we need to be very careful. Okay, so therefore 2 delta ES by L. Substitute that 2 into 2.5 mm multiply by ES 210 and 20 power of Newton per millimeter square. And please be careful. Okay, the length is in millimeter. You need to substitute in, okay, what? Millimeter only. Okay, which is in meter, I need to substitute in millimeter. So hence, let me substitute this in millimeter. So that is 50,000 millimeter. The answer will be 21 Newton per millimeter square. Is it clear? So two things you need to be very careful here. One is the anchorages, how many slip that has been happened in each anchorage. Okay, that is one thing, and also the length. Next, coming to the loss due to friction. Next, now as I stated, so when you're going with this particular problem, okay, we need to go ahead with a particular formula, that is whether the cable is pulled with both ends or one end. Because I hope you remember when I was discussing loss of pre-stress due to friction, so we need to come across with the two cases. One is whether the cable is pulled at one end or both ends. That is one thing we need to observe. And another thing is whether it is parabolic cable or straight cable. Okay, so now since the cable are pulled at both ends, okay, the formula will become, okay, just a slope. If it is pulled at one end, the formula will become 2 into slope. Am I right? And X will become L for one end. So now it is both ends. The formula will become alpha is equal to slope and X is equal to L by 2. That is one thing. Next, since it is a parabolic cable, the slope will be 4E by L. If it is a linear cable, then it is 2E by L. So since it is a parabolic cable, the answer will be 4E by L. So that is 4 multiplied by the eccentricity at midspan, that is 1100, divided by the length of the cable 50,000, which is equal to 0.088. Is it clear? Next, let me come to the x, which is equal to L by 2. So x I already been told. So that is the distance where the precessing force has been induced. So x is equal to L by 2, that is which is equal to 50 divided by 2. Okay, so that is 25 meter. So please be careful. So now it should be in meter. I will tell you why it should be in meter. Okay, and what is the K? That is what I can say, the wobbling 0.0015 per meter, then frictional coefficient 0.25. So let me substitute. Loss is equal to P naught, that is loss of pre-stress due to friction, is equal to initial pre-stress P naught multiplied by mu alpha plus K into X. So now you know initial pre-stress, substitute that. You know what is mu, which is dimensionless parameter, multiplied by alpha, which is also unitless 0.088, plus K, now which is in meter, because in the problem they have been given in meter. Hence you need to calculate X also in meter. So please be careful. So 0.0015 into 25. So you will get 62.5 Newton per millimeter square. So now sum up all the losses. Total loss of pre-stress is equal to elastic deformation loss, shrinkage loss, creep loss, relaxation loss, anchorage slip loss, then loss due to friction. Sum up all the loss. So you'll get 181.49 Newton per millimeter square. So this will be the total loss. So next, if you want to calculate percentage loss, so that is total loss divided by initial pre-stress multiplied by 100, which will get you 17.3%. So okay, observe one thing here. So when you compare with the last two problem, the losses is very less in the case of post-tension beam. As compared to the pre-tension beam, the loss will be very less in the case of post-tension beam. Is it clear? So like this, we need to calculate the loss of pre-stress. Okay, and apart from this, in this problem is also asked what is the jacking force. How to calculate the jacking force? What is the formula? Jacking force is equal to the initial pre-stress have been applied, and what is the total force that has been encountered multiplied by the area of the cable. Okay, so all these I need to consider that. So therefore, so 11 into 10 to the power of 6 Newton or 11 meganewton will be the jacking force I need to apply. Is it clear? So like this, I need to go ahead with this particular problem. Okay, so I will repeat. So this is a post-tension beam. You need to be very careful while calculating the loss of pre-stress due to creep. Okay, wherever this FC value comes, you need to be very careful because it is a parabolic cable problem. It is a parabolic cable problem. Okay, so hence, okay, for parabolic cable problem, okay, how to calculate FC, we need to be very careful. That is one thing. Okay, and also while calculating the anchorage slip, you need to be very careful whether it is two anchorages or single anchorage. That is one thing. And another thing is regarding the loss due to friction, we need to be very careful regarding the type of a cable. That is parabolic cable or whether it is linear cable. So these parameters you need to keep in mind and you need to go ahead with the problem. Okay, so hope you have understood the problem properly. Okay. So now let me go ahead with one more problem. So without waiting much time. So now once again it is a post-tensioned rectangular beam. It is a post-tension rectangular beam. Okay. Of dimension 300 by 600 millimeter. Pre-stressed with initial pre-stress of 950 Newton per millimeter square. And please observe there are 4 straight cable, each of area 250 millimeter square. The cables are situated at 100 mm from the soffit. Fine. So for this, determine the percentage loss of pre-stress due to concrete. Okay, assuming the following. What are all the data they have been given? Shrinkage strain, modular ratio, creep strain. And one more thing they have been highlighted, the cables are pulled one by one. So please observe this. It's a very, very important thing. So the cables are pulled one by one. Okay. So next. So first, as I stated, observe the problem. What is the type of a beam? It is a post-tension beam. So post-tension beam, all the 6 losses will come into the picture. So based upon the data, calculate the or go ahead with the problem. So now, so let me go ahead with the problem. So now this is a cross-sectional dimension of a beam. Okay, and this is the depth they have been induced the eccentricity. Okay, so since in the problem they have been clearly mentioned 4 straight cables. Okay, no need to worry. Okay, so it is a straight cable of eccentricity 200. So please look into this. Okay, nowhere they have been given eccentricity. Hence, how to calculate the eccentricity? So as we know, y bar first we need to calculate. So how to calculate this y bar? So y bar is equal to 600 divided by 2, which is equal to 300 millimeter. Okay, is it clear? Which is equal to 300 millimeter. Next, how to calculate eccentricity? E is equal to, okay, the soffit distance, you already know, the 300, one sec, minus the soffit distance, okay, or the central axis of a steel, which is equal to 200 millimeter. So as I stated, it is the distance between the central axis of the section to the central axis of the steel, or where you are going to induce the precessing force. So like this, we need to calculate the eccentricity. Fine. So next, calculate the cross-sectional area. Since it is a rectangular section, 300 multiplied by 600, that is 18 into 10 to the power of 4 millimeter square. Moment of inertia, since it is a rectangular section, BDQ by 12, that is 5.4 into the power of 9. So initial pre-stress 950 Newton per millimeter square. So now you need not to worry, because in the problem itself they have been given initial pre-stress. Area of cable they have been given 250, but nowhere in the problem they have been given pre-stressing force. So now please be very careful while calculating what is the pre-stressing force induced in each cable. I need to calculate. Why? Because they have been clearly mentioned the cables are tensioned or pulled one by one. That means what is the pre-stressing force have been induced in each cable. That is very important. So that's why I'm going to calculate the pre-stressing force in each cable, which is equal to initial pre-stress multiplied by the cross-sectional area of each cable. That is 250, which is equal to 237.5 kilonewton. So this is a very, very, very important. Since it has been tensioned or pulled one by one, I need to calculate the pre-stressing force in each cable. Is it clear? Next, let me go ahead. The first loss is loss due to elastic deformation. So what is the formula? Alpha E into Fc. Now, for post-tension beam, we will come across with the 2 cases. One is whether the cables are pulled one by one, whether the cables are pulled one by one, or whether the cables are simultaneously tensioned. So in this particular problem, clearly they have been mentioned the cables are pulled one by one. Hence, I am going to use this formula, that is alpha E into Fc. So that is our modular ratio alpha E. I think that they have been given in the problem. Yes, it is 6. No need to worry. Okay, next, the stress in concrete at the level of the steel. So now it is a straight cable. You need to calculate like this. Okay, that is 237.5 to the power of 3 divided by cross-sectional area plus P into E divided by I into E. And this terminology will become 0 because the live load has not been given, hence neglect the dead load also. Is it clear? So hence Fc value is 3.07. Is it clear? Now comes to the very, very important thing. How to calculate the loss of pre-stress for this. Please observe. So now let me go ahead like this. So consider a PSC beam. Okay, now we want to put 4 cables. Am I right? You want to put 4 cables, and each cables are tensioned or pre-stressed one by one. So let me put the first cable. Let me put the first cable. Let me pull it, anchor it, and then apply the pre-stressing force. At that particular instance, no losses will be encountered. Why? Because I have been pulled one cable, okay, and I have been applied a pre-stressing force. So no loss at all. The cables are pulled only one. Am I right? So hence no loss at all. So I think I've been discussed the same thing in the previous case also. Since there was only one cable, I can pull only at a time, and I can induce a pre-stressing force. The same case here also will come across. Is it clear? I hope you understood this. Next, go to the cable 2. So now already cable 1 is there. Now you are putting the second cable. So now cable 2 is pulled, okay, and cable 2 is now pulled and anchored and induced the pre-stressing force. At this particular instance, the loss in cable 2 will become 0, but the losses in cable 1 will be there. How to calculate that? Alpha E into FC, that is loss in cable 1 is equal to modular ratio multiplied by the compressive stress in concrete, the level of steel 3.07, which is 18.42. I hope you understood. Okay, in cable 2, okay, once I'm going to put the cable 2, the already placed cable 1, the losses has been encountered. But in cable 2, okay, I'm going to put your insert inside the cable, okay, at that moment. So no losses will be encountered. So hence the loss in cable 2 will become 0. Is it clear? Next, let me go with the cable 3. So already cable 1 and cable 2 has been put. Now let us go with cable 3. Now cable 3 is pulled and anchored. So same, the cable 3 will be 0. Loss in cable 3 will become 0. Let me go with loss in cable 1, that is alpha E into FC. Same, okay, things, that is 18.42. And also the losses will be encountered in cable 2 also with the same thing, that is 18.4, because no change in modular ratio, no change in compressor, because all are placed in same, okay, because eccentricity everything is same. Next, cable 4. Cable 4 is pulled and anchored. Here also, when I'm going to pull the cable number 4, so next the loss in cable 4 will become 0. Already placed cable number 1, cable number 2, cable number 3, the loss will come into the picture. So the same parameters will exist. So now for this, let me calculate the losses. So cable number 1 loss. So let me go ahead. The loss in cable number 1 in the first case is 0. In second case is 18.42. In third case is 18.42. And fourth case is also 18. So sum up that. Like that loss in cable 2. Okay, sum up that. Like that loss in cable 3, sum up. And finally loss in cable 4 is 0. Okay, add all the loss and take out the average. So that will be what I can say, the loss of pre-stress due to alert, because so many losses will be there in the cable 1, cable 2, cable 3. So that's why I'm going to consider the average loss. That is 55.26 plus 36.84 plus 18.42 plus 0 divided by 4 will get you the average loss of pre-stress due to elastic deformation. So hope you understood this problem. Okay, since it is a post-tension concrete beam, okay, since it is a post-tension concrete beam, okay, and also they have been given, okay, it has been pulled one by one, we need to consider this formula. In this, okay, how to calculate FC alpha have already been shown. Okay, coming to this, if I'm going to pull one cable, the loss will be 0. If I'm going to pull one cable, that particular cable will be 0, but already placed cable, there will be some losses. So like that, cable 3, cable 4, okay, and so on. Is it clear? Hope you understood. Okay, how to go ahead with this loss of pre-stress due to elastic deformation if it is okay encountered a loss in particularly in the case of what I can say post-tension PSTB. Okay, next. Loss of pre-stress due to shrinkage, as usual, epsilon CS multiplied by ES. Okay, so here, okay, you can see the loss of pre-stress, whether they have been given. So they are not being given anything. So we already been known that how to calculate that. So I've been written here, assume the loss, okay, that is 2 into the power, I think it has been given, one sec. Yeah, it has been given, sorry. But model velocity of steel is not given. So shrinkage strain is 2 into the power of -4. So substitute that value. Okay, fine. Then modulus of elasticity of steel is not given. Okay, so please you need to assume that. So whenever the data is missing, assume it is 2.1 into the power of 5. So substitute that, you will get, okay, sorry, I have been assumed here 2. Okay, you can assume 2 or 2.1. Both are okay. So the answer will be 40 Newton per millimeter square. Next, loss due to creep. So now please observe in the problem, okay, I have been given ultimate creep strain data. So till now I have been solved creep coefficient data. So in this particular problem, they have been given ultimate creep strain data. So for this, okay, let me go with this formula, that is epsilon CS, sorry, one sec, yeah, epsilon CS, that is creep strain multiplied by the FC multiplied by ES. Substitute all the data, you will get, okay, the 2.46 Newton per meter. Very less, I can see in the ultimate creep strain, okay, you can see the very less thing you can get. And moreover, you can see, I think, one sec, some mistake is there. Okay, one sec. I think you need to substitute here 27.6. Okay, one sec. Yeah, let me go. Yeah, FC value is very less because no moment is there. Okay, so that's why this value is less, and so the loss is also very less. Okay, because I think you observed in the previous problem the loss of pre-stress due to creep was more. In this particular problem, you can see the loss of pre-stress due to creep is very less in this. So hence the sum of all the loss, that is 27.63 plus 40, that is strain gauge loss plus creep. Okay, will get you the percentage loss is equal to this much. And one more thing, so please observe, since it is a post tension beam, nowhere have been worked out, okay, that is friction loss. Okay, the nowhere have been worked out anchorage slip, loss of pressure to anchorage slip and relaxation. Why? Because in this problem, nowhere they have been given this data, hence all those three, okay, loss of pre-stress have been neglected and calculated this loss. Okay, so hope you have understood the concept. Okay, how to calculate the percentage loss, all those things. Okay, hope you understood whatever the problem have been solved in this particular session. Okay, and the three different problems, so with three different cases have been solved in this particular session. Hope you have understood all the cases. So with this, I'm going to end the session of today. Okay, so thank you. Okay.